Today I have the fantastic Helena Deland on the line with me right now. Helena, how are you?
Hi, thanks. I'm good. Yeah, very happy to be speaking with you just in the middle of tour.
Exciting, exciting.
Uh-huh.
Right, I think right now you're in a venue kind of getting ready to do sound check and getting ready for your show tonight.
Yes, exactly.
Amazing. How's the tour been going?
It's been going really well. It's our first North American headline tour, so I'm used to the opening slot, which is also really nice for different reasons, but it's more
Hmm.
of a winning over of the crowd. Whereas, this time around it feels like almost shocking how kind of into the music people already are. It's definitely different.
You like me? Oh my gosh, thank you.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow, that's incredible. And I
Yeah.
mean, it just probably shows all of the hard work and, engaging with your audience and building a really solid fan base. So congratulations.
Thanks so much.
That's very huge. Your album, Goodnight Summerland, it has been on CKUA's top 30 chart for weeks now. It was number one. It's doing really well. It's still in the top 10. What were some of the memories you have from making this album?
Well, I there was definitely a turning point where I kind of decided to go for a more stripped back, closer to what the songs are like when I wrote them on guitar and voice.
Hmm.
That was kind of partway through the process of choosing the collaborators. It's interesting to think of the album also as being kind of from the studio where I recorded it, which is in the Catskills in
Oh, wow.
fall. So, like, thinking
Hmm.
of the music as coming from that time and place is really, I think, well, it's just really nice, to have such a rich kind of memory portal of that time and place. And I think it suits the folk music for sure.
Cool. It was very idyllic,
Yes.
and kind a little bit romantic, I'd have to say. Um, and so the title of your album, Goodnight Summerland, I'm sure people are wondering, well, has she been to Summerland? Was she born there? What
Barely.
happened? What's your connection?
My parents were doing their masters at SFU when they had me, and lived in Summerland. They studied agriculture, and so the pavilion for agriculture is in that area in the Okanagan
Mm-hmm.
Valley. I lived there, before I was old enough to form any memory, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, um, lost my mom in the last 2 years, and so I think kind of the narrative that she had always kind of presented me of my early years was maybe more front of mind, and what was left out of that also. Um, just some kind
Mm-hmm.
of realization that, all she had, all she would ever tell me about it had been said already. And
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
Right. So the land and the place are kind of again, to use your own words, are a bit of a portal to a connection and a time
Hmm.
to your mom. Wow. I'm
Hmm.
really sorry that your mom passed.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's oh
It's a big
yeah.
challenge, and it
Mm-hmm.
does connect me to a lot of other people who've had, that experience.
Yeah, yeah. I'm also part of
Yeah.
that club. My
Oh,
dad
I'm
passed last year,
sorry.
so I know that feeling. It's just
Yeah,
it's as time passes, it never it still doesn't make sense. But we try to move forward.
absolutely. Yeah.
As you navigate this newness in your life, how does music and your music in general help you to
Mm.
keep your heart open?
Mm. Wow, that's well said. I think that is kind of the power that music has, is to need the heart being as open as possible
Yeah.
in order to exist. So I felt very lucky. I do feel like a lot of the album is kind of about the difficulty around communicating about grief,
Mm.
and music has been really kind of a way to access feelings and expression that just flowed very differently than conversation or like journaling or
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
other forms
Mm-hmm.
of expression.
Yeah.
It's a very like solitary experience in the first stages, and then it becomes a more communal one. So there is this like, beautiful kind of vulnerability that can be carried from one stage to the next. And
That's
It was very
beautiful.
important to me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever seen that sort of iconograph on social media where it shows grief and how there's like, we are the circle and the grief inside of us sort of fills up the circle. And really what happens over
Mm-hmm.
time is like the circle gets bigger. And I really
Mm-hmm.
love that picture of grief.
I haven't seen it, but someone has described it to me,
Yeah.
and I find it beautiful. Like, it's not the grief that gets smaller. It's, yeah, you give it more space, and
Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
makes a lot of
Oh,
sense.
it really does. And it's a beautiful way to have make grace for yourself, as
Definitely.
you navigate that. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm so thankful to get the chance to talk to you and thank you for sharing a bit of your story and your journey.
Thank you. Thanks so much for your questions.
Oh, of course. My
Hmm.
pleasure. My pleasure. I know you're on tour in North America and then
Hmm.
you head to Europe. And
Hmm.
then I'm wondering, are you going to come to Alberta anytime in the not so distant future?
Yes, we're actually going to come to Alberta before we go to Europe. It's just
Oh,
been announced. We're gonna
amazing.
play. Yeah, I'm very, very, very excited. We're all actually very pumped. We're already planning to drive out. We're gonna play, well, Edmonton and Calgary, and then a few cities in the prairies in January.
Great. Okay.
Yeah, very, very excited.
You are brave Canadian musicians.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like when it comes to weather, being Canadian is kind of a synonymous to being brave with weather.
Right, exactly. That's so
Yeah.
funny. I remember touring in Europe and we'd like be in Hamburg and then we're like, "Oh yeah, tomorrow we're going to Denmark." And they're like, "What?" Like that's like 8 hours away. We're like, "Yeah." Don't-
True, driving as well, the distances, we can just
yeah.
cover them
Yeah, it's like 8
without
hours. I'm like,
wincing.
"That's an easy day. Like, come on,
Yeah,
You
yeah.
we get to
Yeah.
like check into the hotel before sound check. Like, what are you talking about? It's pretty interesting, and I love that fact about being a Canadian musician. It's like it's a little bit of like a I don't know road warrior sort of status symbol.
Definitely, somewhat of a hack.
Yeah.
You come prepared.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Talk to Helena and I if you need some road hacks. We've got them all.
definitely.
Before I let you go, I would love to play Night Soft as Silk from your
Mhm.
album Goodnight Summerland.
Mhm.
Can you tell our listeners a little bit about it?
Definitely. I wrote Night Soft as Silk after having been in confinement for like a year with the
Hmm.
pandemic, and I had roommates at the time who were dear friends, and obviously was a challenge on our relationship,
Yeah.
but also made it much like deeper and
Mm.
more significant for sure. That song describes just a night, like a regular night spent drinking around the kitchen table and talking as though everything about the other person was about to be revealed. And, which is
Mm.
really like a good feeling in friendship, I think, and quite a rare one. But, when someone seems like such a mystery all of a sudden, in spite of how well you know them and how long you've been around each other. And yeah, so that song goes out to my roommate, Kate, and the pleasure
Bless.
of just talking with her.
Oh, I love that so much. Thank you for sharing that
Of
story. Oh my
course.
goodness. Okay, from the album Goodnight Summerland by Helena Deland, this is Night Soft as Silk, and it's all about the unfolding of friendship. Thank you so much, Helena. Have a beautiful
Thank
tour
you so
and all the
much.
best. And do reach out when you're coming to Alberta and would love to chat again.
That would be so great. I will.
Awesome. Okay. Have a great show tonight. Yeah.
Have a good day.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.